The Mayflower Compact, or originally known as the Agreement between Settlers of New Plymouth, was the original governing document of the Plymouth colony. Sadly, the original copy has not been found, or it might not have even existed at all. The oldest copy of the compact comes from a print in London in 1622 titled A Relation or Journal of the Beginning and Proceedings of the English Plantation Settled at Plymouth in New England. On the third page of this print is the oldest known copy of the compact, named Mort's Relation. The print was written by William Bradford and Edward Winslow. Bradford was the governor of the colony at the time of the writing of the print, and Winslow was a signer of the Mayflower Compact. This copy sadly did not include a list of the 41 original signers. However, the oldest known list of the 41 original signers is found in Nathaniel Morton's New England's Memorial, first printed in 1669 in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Morton had been the secretary of the Plymouth colony for more than 20 years before the memorial was printed, and he was Bradford's nephew. The Mayflower Compact reads, "In the name of God, Amen. We, whose names are underwritten, the loyal subjects of our dreaded sovereign lord, King James, by the grace of God, of Great Britain, France, and Ireland, King, Defender of the Faith, etc., have undertaken for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith, and the honor of our king and country, a voyage to plant the first colony in the northern parts of Virginia. Do, by these presents, solemnly and mutually, in the presence of God and one another, covenant and combined ourselves together into a civil body politic, for our better ordering and preservation, and furtherance of the ends aforesaid. And by virtue hereof do enact, constitute, and frame such just and equal laws, ordinance, acts, constitutions, and offices from time to time as shall be thought to meet and convenient for the general good of the colony, unto which we promise all due submissions and obedience. In witness whereof we have hereunto subscribed our names at Cape Cod, the 11th of November, in the reign of our sovereign lord, King James of England, France, and Ireland, the 18th, and of Scotland, the 54th, Anno Domini 1620. On screen is the list of the 41 original signers of the Mayflower Compact. They read: John Carver, Sam Fuller, Edward Tilley, William Bradford, Christopher Martin, John Tilley, Edward Winslow, William Mullings, Francis Cook, William Brewster, William White, Thomas Rogers, Isaac Allerton, Richard Warren, Thomas Tinker, Miles Standish, John Howland, John Rigdale, John Alden, Stephen Hopkins, Edward Fuller, John Turner, Diggory Priest, Richard Clark, Francis Eaton, Thomas Williams, Richard Gardner, James Chilton, Gilbert Winslow, John Allerton, John Craxton, Edmund Margeson, Thomas English, John Billington, Peter Brown, Edward Doughty, Moses Fletcher, Richard Britteridge, Edward Leicester, John Goodman, George Soule. The source of this information comes from a book called The Mayflower Compact and its signers, with facsimiles and a list of the Mayflower passengers. The book was written by George Ernest Bowman in 1920 and was published in Boston, Massachusetts by the Massachusetts Society of Mayflower Descendants. This book is in the public domain and is free to use and reuse. A digital copy of this book can be found on the Library of Congress's website.